We shall now look at how to add sockets onto our design. If you have a flat surface on the side of your MP3 player, it is easy to add sockets simply by selecting the face and making a new sketch as before, but many of your designs may be curved. This is more difficult to add sketches to. You have to create a new work plane on the edge of the shown to create, for example, an earphone socket. To do this, rotate the object so you can see it and click on the View on the Work Plane tool. You will see lots of different work planes. Every time you create a sketch, it creates a new work plane. Choose a suitable work plane. For example, there may be one sitting at the edge of your MP3 player, one in the middle of it. For example, I will select this one. To show you how to create a side of this MP3 player. When you've selected the work plane, simply click on Work Plane, New Work Plane. You will see that a dialog box appears with the offset option already checked. You will also see a little yellow square in the middle of the chosen work plane. Click on this and click and drag the new work plane across to the other side so it just sits on the. You can rotate the screen to check the position of this work plane. I shall move it just slightly further out. Once you've got it in the location you want it, click OK. Turn it so you can see the position of the new work plane. You now have to create a new sketch onto this work. So go to Work Plane, New Sketch, and give it a name. Click OK. Click on the View on the Work Plane tool and it should turn towards you. It may turn to the other side, so you're actually looking at the other side of the object. This may not matter. If it does, you can simply turn it around. Click on the Circle tool to create the earphone socket. So create a 3mm hole. Rotate it so you can see its position. Extrude it by subtracting the material, checking the direction of the green arrow to make sure you're going the right way, and entering the distance. Click OK. And you now have a hole in the side of your MP3 player. A lip around the edge of this hole you've created. While you're still in the same work plane, go to Work Plane and New Sketch and call this lip. Click OK. Click on the View on the Work Plane tool again. Again, you may need to turn it so you're viewing directly on to the surface. Click on the Circle tool again, and as you move the cursor towards the edge of the circle, it automatically finds the center of that existing circle. A large black square should appear. Left click and draw a circle slightly bigger than the last one. Again, from the center of the same circle, click and drag a circle which is exactly the same size as the hole you made, 3mm in diameter. Turn so you can see it, and now feature, this time projecting it, project profile. Again, check the direction of the green arrow to make sure you're going the right way. Click OK. And you'll see this meets the surface evenly. You could now select the edge tool, select the edge of where the extruded lip meets the surface, and click on Feature, Round Edges, enter a small radius, perhaps smaller one, and click OK. So you now have a socket on one side for an earphone. If you feel it is extruding too much, change this by double clicking on the original work plane you made, work plane 9 in this case. You'll see that the original offset, that is the distance you moved it, appears. You can reduce this, click OK, and click on the green update button, and you'll see that it moves. In this case it has moved too far, so again I need to go back to this work plane, double click on it, and make it minus 41. Click OK, and again the green update button, suitable feature. Equally, if the value of the round you created on the edge of this feature, on the left hand side browser menu, click on Features, select the round, right click and redefine it. And again, make this round perhaps smaller. Click OK. Process, we can add a slot for a USB connector on one end. This is simplified. We don't have the time to create an exact replica of a USB slot. This time I will create a new work plane on the edge, so to create the slot at the bottom edge of this MP3 player. Again, click on the work plane tool so you can see the different work planes, and you may already find there's a work plane. I will select this work plane which sits at the end, but I've decided I want to create my slot at this side, so I go to work plane, new work plane, again dragging the yellow square which appears in the middle, you move it to a suitable position on the other side. Again, you may need to rotate so you can see the yellow preview in the proper place. Once you've got the work plane in the position you want, click OK, and then work plane sketch, and call it USB socket. Rotate it in the position you want to see it, or click on the View on the Work Plane tool. Simply create a small thin rectangular socket on one end of about 12 by 3 millimeters. Again, check its location and repeat as shown before. Feature, extrude profile. You can use the yellow square which appears in the middle to pull it into the shape, making sure it's a suitable depth. Check its subtract material and click OK. Again, if wanted to, we could add a lip to this. Simply remember, every time you add a new sketch, you have to select work plane, new sketch, give it a name, click OK, and click on View on the Work Plane tool. Click View Auto Scale if you cannot see it. Then click on the Rectangle tool. First of all, draw a rectangle exactly the same size. Then, while that sketch is still selected, you can click on Line and enter a value of 1. Make sure that's going on the outside of that sketch, so the value is -1 in this case. Click OK. Rotate it round so you can see what you're doing again, and feature project profile. Again, check the direction of the green arrow. This time it'll be below work plane. Add material. Click OK.